Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I have another different type of video. I am doing this in the nursing series which I just introduced on my channel. My previous channel name was Strictly Drugstore Makeup, but now I just changed it to It's Appa, and Appa is my nickname for Aprajita. So in case you're interested in the nursing program, especially graduate entry nursing program, you can still subscribe to my channel because I think I will be doing some more videos geared towards that, because I don't just want my channel to be about makeup and beauty. I also want to talk about nursing, which is a big part of my life. So this particular video is all about applying to these graduate entry programs, because this is something I was working on last year as a senior in college, and I just thought that this would be a great video to do, just because I have been there. I've been through the application process. I know how stressful it is, and these are kind of the tips that I have for people who are career changers like I am. So I think this would be helpful, not just for programs for nursing necessarily. I mean, obviously, because I'm a nursing student, I'm doing this more geared towards nursing, but I think some of these tips that I'm giving you will just apply to any healthcare graduate programs, or even other graduate programs in science, especially if you're like healthcare, engineering, all of those fields. So there are some general tips, but obviously, because I'm a nursing student, this is more geared towards nursing. So for a background about me, I am someone who has an undergraduate degree, and I'm in a direct entry MSN, or master's in nursing program. Basically what that means is that I'm someone who's coming from a different background, and I am wanting to be an advanced practice nurse. Now there are different types of direct entry MSN program. Not all of them are geared towards becoming an APRN, but my particular program is geared towards becoming a nurse practitioner. So the number one tip that I have for you before you even think about applying to these programs, or before you even apply to these programs, my bad, you need to think about, why are you picking this line? Why in nursing in particular? Because this is something that you are going to be asked in your application, especially in your what is it called? Your essay, your personal statement, or in the interview if you are applying to a program which has an interview. And I really want you to focus on this question, you guys. I don't want you guys to vaguely answer it, because yeah, you can say you want to help people, you want to be in a good stable career, but or you want to be in a career where you're growing. But I really want you to think about what it is about nursing that draws you in, because that is something that professors or whoever is evaluating your application is really going to look at. Because I know in my interview, this was a question that they really emphasized on, like, why nursing in particular, why not going to medical school, why not going to PA school, or becoming a physical therapist, and all of those other lines. So this is something that you really need to be able to answer. And I guess this would go the same way for, like, why do you want to become a doctor, why do you want to become physician's assistant, being specific about your reasoning as to why. The second tip that I have for you guys is, especially if you're already know that you want to be a nurse, but what would your long-term goal be in terms of nursing? Like, this is going to determine the type of programs that you end up applying to, and also the length of program. And it would, either you would have to make a big investment, or you would, have to save up money for some of these programs, because they are a little bit on the pricier side. So a lot of people do take loans to get into or to start these programs, because majority of the people that I know are interested in some sort of APRN field. Doesn't have to be nurse practitioner, could be clinical nurse specialist, vice versa. So I really want you to think about that, because if your goal is to be a bedside RN, you can always do accelerated bachelor's. That is a lot quicker. If you want to be a clinical nurse leader, which is a bedside RN who has a master's degree, apply to those programs. Or if you want to be an NP, that's your long-term goal in nursing, then apply to, graduate entry APRN program. So just thinking, not everyone is going to know right away what they want to do. Some people just want to be nurses, and that is completely okay. It's okay to not know. But in my interview process, at least, I was kind of asked as to what my long-term goals were and what specialty was I considering in nursing practice. The third thing that I have for you guys is shadowing and work experience. Now, depending on, what your degree is and stuff, some of you guys will have more experience than others, and that is to be expected. There's a variety of different age groups in these types of programs, so don't really get intimidated if you're younger. I was one of the younger people in the program. I'm 20. I will be 24 this Thursday, so I will be 24, and when I was applying or considering these programs, I was 23 years old. So the average age for a person in a program like this might be 25 plus, 25 to 30. But someone who's taken some time off from school and are hoping to go back, and that is accepted, but you will find some people who are a lot older, so don't be intimidated by that, and they might have more work experiences than you. Also, just when you're an undergrad and if you're considering these programs, try to get some work experience or at least shadowing experience. I had a lot of shadowing experience. I did my internship in an emergency room. I shadowed an ER physician and a nurse practitioner, both. And then I also, worked under a dietitian, which wasn't really getting a lot of clinical experience per se, because I was more sitting in an office and talking to patients, and I wasn't really actually going there and doing vitals and stuff like that. If you have the ability to be able to get that type of experience, actually go into patient's room, get that experience, you guys, because I think that is very, very important, because that kind of shows that you're taking this seriously. So if possible, look into scribe programs, CNA programs, EMT, or medical assistants. These are some of the programs that I would highly, highly suggest that you consider. And if you have this experience, that is definitely gonna put your application high up over there for acceptance. So I would highly, highly recommend that. Number 4 thing that I want you to consider before the application process is the location of the school. Now, sometimes you might want to stay in the same state, but I want you to be a little bit more open, because not all of the states offer a program like this. The reason I moved here to Ohio is because there are more programs which are this direct entry MSN focus, and there were 0 in Indiana. So not every single state is going to have that. I can actually list a link down below in the description box so you guys can see all of the schools defined by states. So just be more open to you might have to move away. Whether you're living in the South, you might have to move up here to the Midwest or California, whatever. Wherever you get in, you kind of do have to take your chance. I mean, unless you're a local and your program, you're able to get into the program, that's great. But a lot of people in my program, 95% of them have moved from a different city or at least a different state. So just being a little bit more open about that and not focusing on just one area, because I made this mistake and I kind of regret it. I really was not expecting to move here to Ohio. I really wanted to go to Wisconsin, but that didn't work out. So just being a little bit more open about that. Okay, so the fifth thing that I have here for you guys is obviously focusing on your prerequisite grades and your recommendation letters. With grades, you might have been in a really difficult major, so maybe your grade point average is not as good, but I really want you to have good grades in the prerequisite courses for your particular nursing program. Sometimes they'll overlook, your GPA. At least try to have a 3.0, but if you have anything below on that, try to do a lot better in your prerequisite courses. And obviously recommendations, asking for an academic and a work recommendation. You probably want to ask someone whom you know really well and seems to like you, and that way they give you a good recommendation for graduate school. There is something called a nursing CAS, and some of these programs do their application process through the nursing CAS. Not every single school uses nursing CAS. I know my undergraduate didn't use nursing CAS. You would just apply to the website of my undergrad school's website. So not every single school will use it, but just getting familiar with nursing CAS, just so that you're not writing your personal statement over and over again. Also, like looking at what specific questions a particular school might have. Like I applied to a school in Illinois and they had like 2 pages on diversity. They were really big on diversity and they really wanted us to talk about, diversity in healthcare and etc. And I literally had to write like 2 pages just on diversity, and they would ask the same questions over and over again in different manner, just about diversity. And it was just so interesting. I mean, that school was definitely focused a lot on being open to international student and being open to people of different backgrounds, which some other schools that I applied to weren't really that much into diversity. So it was interesting to see. But just getting familiar with what the application process might be for your particular school. It is going to vary, and getting familiar with a nursing CAS. So the 7th tip that I have for you guys, especially if you're this kind of goes for if you're currently in this application process, and you're not really hearing back from schools and you're getting disappointed, and you're getting rejected. I have been there, you guys. Like last year, I literally was working, and I was working a job where I didn't always like what I was doing because I just didn't really get to apply my knowledge from undergrad as much. And also sometimes when you're super duper hardworking and you are somewhat intelligent and are somewhat smart, and then people who are in authority kind of question that, and when you start questioning a certain system, like that was kind of my situation with my job and the job that I had during the gap time between my undergrad and my graduate education. So I was a little bit I was having trouble at work, and then I was also stressed about hearing from grad school. And it is a very awkward time, you guys. Like you're just like, oh my gosh, I just want to do what I want to do with my life, and I just don't want to be here with this job or whatever. Like all of those feelings of nervousness and anxiousness and stress, and then like obviously not hearing good news from grad schools, that does affect you mentally, but I don't think you should give up, at least on the first try. Like, and definitely have like a backup plan of what you're going to do if grad schools don't work out for you, at least on your first try. Maybe you need to get more experience. Maybe they want people who are a little bit older. It really just depends on the school. So this also kind of goes into like applying to multiple different schools, like I said, and also like the location area. Like, don't just stick to a place where you've been living. Like, some people would prefer that, and this is going to vary, especially if you are in a relationship with someone, or if you are already married and have a family, have children. Like, this is something that might affect them too. So like, also considering your family as being part of this process, because you might have to move and stuff. That is kind of like my 8th tip that I have for you guys, is to consider other factors, especially your support system. For me, like, my support system is my family, because they are helping me emotionally and financially as well. Like, I am still kind of dependent on them because I'm not really working right now, but they have been there for me even though they're across the country. And I think it's just very, very important, especially if you're in a committed relationship, to consider the moving aspect, and that they are also going to be part of this journey. So I hope this video was helpful, you guys. I know I kind of was all over the place, but basically I tried to make notes, and I try to inform you guys as to like what to kind of expect, and what tips that I think you guys should know about, because I didn't have anyone guiding me, and I just thought it was a little important that people who are considering this program have some guidance from someone. So yeah, that's why I made this YouTube video and started this series. So I hope this video was somewhat helpful to you guys. I think my next video is going to be on different types of graduate entry programs, and then I'm also considering making a whole another video for the interview aspect of some of the graduate entry programs. I hope you like this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what else you would like to see. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.